And I have a YouTube, but I haven't done anything with
He
it.
bought the GoPros, and that's about it.
Spent about $3,000 last year. Actually, I bought a MacBook too, so I spent about $5,000 last year, and I have 4 subscribers.
And you have not posted video yet.
I've filmed a couple.
Yeah.
But
I'll get to editing, man.
that's what I need you guys for. You need to teach me how to do it. No one wants to do the hard part with me.
No.
Everybody
I just watch YouTube videos and figure it out.
Everybody will go fishing with me, but nobody wants to sit down for 4 hours and edit the video.
Well, so it's really not that hard because the way we edit, like, I just put everything on a timeline and then cut out the crap. So all you do, like, if you got Final Cut or iMovie, it's the same thing. You just go through and you hit Command B and it cuts it, and you go to the other part and hit Command B, and then you click it and you hit delete, and it's gone. I mean, that's literally all I do is just put it on a timeline.
Yeah.
And I basically just cut out me not talking.
Yeah.
And if I'm talking, I leave it. Now, I do listen through to make sure I'm not dropping F-bombs or talking about some other YouTuber or something. But so, I mean, you obviously have to cut out, like, listen and cut out some certain things. But
yeah,
it's basically just cutting out the fluff.
Yeah, but this...
I don't do, like, a Land Shark or Ryan Morey edit where it's like a movie.
I mean, they're insane. They're on a different level.
I mean,
that's insane.
I literally can edit, like, an easy edit for me. I can be done, like, start to finish, like 45 minutes to an hour.
Oh wow.
Ryan and Victor's got an editor now. They probably do it pretty quick, but Ryan talks about like days of editing.
Yeah.
And I could not, like, I hate editing so much, and it's literally like an hour, sometimes 2. I couldn't imagine days of just like going through, because like their biggest thing is their intros, and so it might only be a minute, maybe even 45 seconds, but there's like there's so many things that are happening and so many cuts and then music, and then sometimes they're also putting on like sound effects, and to find that, it looks simple once it's all done, but to find that perfect clip that fits this sound, or the perfect sound that fits that clip, and that's the time consuming part. And I would love to do it. Like, it looks awesome, but I think our style too, just kind of being more like home movie, people do relate that, because if you watch some of our videos, like, you kind of feel like you're there with us fishing. If you watch a Victor or Ryan Morey, it's awesome. You feel like you're watching a movie. Like, I don't feel like I'm there.
Yeah.
But like ours is more like home movie.
Yeah. Well, that's, just like I said earlier, for me to go fishing, like, it's got to be worth it. And for me to try to do the YouTube stuff, the amount of time that it would take for me to stop tying pompano rigs or doing jigs, or, it's really got, and I know that it's something you got to build and grow, but I'm still trying to build and grow Frisky Fins.
Yeah.
To where doing the podcast, I don't think there'll be that much editing, just a little bit here and there. And Jordan can help me with that.
Yeah. And with the podcast, the only thing, like, Matt's always edited them. I'll probably edit this one since he wasn't here, but
thanks for showing up, Matt.
I know, right? I think he does listen through the whole thing, but like, nothing was said or nothing happened in this one. So as long as we make sure everything lines up and like nothing goes wrong, all I gotta do is cut out the beginning and then cut out the end from me just turning them on. Yeah. But like on the one with Jack, it would have been fine too, but we started talking about like, can you cuss or can you not cuss? And then I dropped an F-bomb just for Matt, so he would have to go edit. But as long as nothing like that happens and you don't have to cut something out, it's super simple to edit the podcast.
I think it's going to be fun. This is going to be a year where I want to do a little more. Like, I've gotten it down to where we have a couple rig tires, because the pompano rigs are my main business. I still do every jig, every pole, everything like that is still done through me. But I want to be able to fish a lot this year. Yeah. And if I'm going to do it, I might as well bring a camera, and I might as well spend 2 or 3 hours doing, just to try to, I know I'm not going to become you guys. That's not my goal. My goal is not to become, Land Shark. I know that I can't do that. I don't have time. I don't have the will to do it either. But it'd be nice just to be able to show off new products, show off what we're doing with it.
Yeah, I mean, for you, it's all about the advertising.
Yeah, exactly. Spend a couple hours getting free advertisement.
Did they just like turn up the music out there?
They're going crazy, man.
Out there. But,
it's almost closing
I think
time.
It would be good for the advertising. It might be. I don't know what time we close.
I think it's 7.
I think we might close at 6 right now. I don't know. It just went off though. But yeah, the advertising for you would definitely be worth it. And that's like, for you not having to make your living off of YouTube,
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to have that big of a following to drive a lot more sales.
Yeah.
Because anybody that it would be watching your video would be a customer. Like, if you're going to watch that style of fishing, you're going to be a customer that wants to buy that product.
Yeah.
So, it's an easy way. And
well, I'm doing so much.
obviously, your name's like you've already have a good name around. I mean, really everywhere, not even just the Panhandle area, but
I appreciate
all
it.
up and down the coast. So,
well, that's the
good.
we're doing. I'm going all these places anyway. Like we go to Florida. You guys, when we go down to Juneau, and I went out and caught we caught 100 and something reds in October. Like I could have been videoing. All you guys did videos. Coastal Worldwide did video. Everybody came and did a video,
Right.
except for me. And I was out there every morning. I was throwing baits. And when we go down to Juneau, I mean, you guys get what 3, 4, 5 video, and I'm just sitting there in the background like, hey, how's it go? Hanging out. So
I mean, they're good. Like, for you, it is like way more enjoyable and way less pressure.
Yeah.
Because you're just out there having fun fishing, where we're like, I got to remember to do these certain things for the video, and I got to make sure the camera's on. Like all the different stuff that goes into actually filming a video.
Well, well, I've said from day one too. Like I just enjoy fishing with you guys, and whether or not you use my stuff or not, it's fun to get out and just see what you guys do. Like it's fun to actually see you guys knowing you're producing a video.
Right.
Just it's interesting. It really is. I've seen some things that I'm like, hey, that's how they do that.
Yeah.
But it is fun. It is, like you said, it's a lot of. I'm just hanging out on the pier.
Right.
I can cuss. I can do it. I can eat my chicken sandwich. I don't have to worry about catching a fish.
Right.
So
I know. I want to get to the point. It's like we started Kelton a YouTube channel. I want to get to the point where our goal is to get this podcast going a little more. Obviously, with the store and stuff, we want to get to where we're not having to grind so hard for ourselves on YouTube.
Yeah.
So it would be awesome for Kelton, which of course right now I still have to film and edit for Kelton because he's 6 years old. He can't do that by himself. But it would be nice to be able to just like go out with him and just him.
Yeah.
Or maybe not even make a video, but make a video for his channel. Like it takes so much more pressure off of me. And it is way more enjoyable when I'm not like, because I mean, really until I get a video, like I'm stressed the whole time I'm fishing because I'm like, if I don't get a video, I've literally just wasted a day.
Well, even like, you guys are on a different level than a lot of the other YouTubers that I deal with, but you have the ability to go down to South Florida right now. Like if you're someone that's got a normal job who doesn't, you got to fish here. You got to, like you say, got to grind it out for 8 hours to maybe catch a couple fish. Like that's not enjoyable. It's not enjoyable to anybody.
Right.
And you can see it in a lot of the videos too, to where, people are tired of
and then this time it's like the same thing. So like, sheep's head fishing is usually what we do. Well, the first 2, maybe 3 videos are cool, and then you're like, I don't want to go sheep's head fishing, but that's the only thing biting. So I guess I'm going sheep's head fishing.
We do sheep's head jigs too, by the way. If you need some,
and they are good. I've had the most luck with the swing one opposed to like the actual what's the other one called, a knocker
jig.
I've had the most luck with the swing jig, which I think most people do like the knocker jig.
Yeah, I almost exclusively fish knocker jigs.
Yeah,
I just feel like I could set the hook harder.
Yeah,
which I kind of like setting the hook hard when I'm sheepshead fishing.
That is one of the fun things about sheepshead fishing, because most of the fishing that we do in saltwater is with circle hooks. And you don't set the hook. Sheepshead fishing is like your bass fishing,
as hard as you can.
You're not like reeling in and then setting. You're just sitting there waiting and then set. But there's something fun about just setting the hook. And then like at Juneau with the big rods, just I'm kind of upset I didn't go on Juneau Pier this year.
Well, we're going again this year, probably.
Oh, yeah. I'm going every year now.
I think I might try to go a little early. I want to go catch a slot stuck this year. I miss catching slots. I want to walk the beach, throw an LB in, something like that, and catch a slot.
When does it open?
End of February, maybe. Like, I mean, it's almost time for them to, and then it closes in the end of May. I think it closes in May.
Back up in September,
like September 1st. Yeah, and that's why we're catching all the big ones
right now.
Yeah.
So like, is it September? Is it just September, or is it September, October? Do you know?
I'm not 100% sure. And everything's different. Like East Coast is different. Parts of the West Coast are closed, and I just
know
in
like
the summer,
Central West West Coast, like around Tampa and stuff, has been closed for a while after they had that bad
Red tide.
Red tide like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I don't know that it's opened up since then, but
Yeah, I mean,
snook is delicious.
it's phenomenal.
It's so good, and
Yep.
I mean, it is really good, but I may think it's even better because like we don't ever get to eat it. I've had it twice.
Yeah.
Like we just get used to eating the same stuff here, so it's nice to eat something different. But it definitely does taste different. It's got it's a sweet meat. It's so good,
And they're all different. Like if you caught a keeper and I caught a keeper, they might taste completely different.
interesting.
It just there's certain ones that are just that are a lot sweeter, they're a lot flakier than the other ones, but always take the skin off. That is a fish.
I was about to say, so they call them like the soap
fish.
fish, right? So if you cook it with the skin on,
Tastes like dial soap, and
That's so
it's soap. Like it tastes like soap.
so we need to go down there when it's open, and then we're gonna do a sample.
Yeah,
We'll cook one with the skin on and one with the skin off.
yeah. So back in the early days when they used to get fish real hard, people thought them as trash fish. They just throw them up on a wall. They catch
Probably
50
back then they would just throw
Yeah.
them on a grill with the skin and
Well, I mean that's how you cooked over an open flame. You know, you
Yeah.
just kept the skin of the fish, and
on
it
half
tasted
shell.
tasted like soap.
like, this is garbage.
Yeah, and then some random person figured it out.
Gotta cut the skin off.
Thank you, that
I
guy.
wonder what that is. Like,
I have no
it's
idea.
just interesting that one random fish in the ocean
Yep.
has a weird skin that no other fish has.
Well, and there's no other snook either. Like there's no like they're not like how pompano are in the jack family and like reds and trout are in the same. I think snook is one of the only fish
They're
that's
the
it's
only-
only. I could be wrong. Don't
Interesting.
I'm sure there's somebody out there who knows
Somebody
I'm
let
wrong.
him know that he's wrong.
Yeah, but I'm 99% sure they're like the only fish in
Yeah.
their family.
I know they're kind of like a saltwater bass.
Uh-uh.
You know what I think I've probably talked to you about this. I know I talked to Sean about it. I want to go back down to Juneau, and I want to go catch maybe like a 12 to 14 inch largemouth bass, and take it and drop it off the end of the pier. I feel like a snook would get so mad at a bass. I don't know why I feel that way, but like it's something that it's not usually seeing.
Yeah.
And I just think one of those big snook would mess it up.
Well, that's what they do. The croakers most of the time they're just trying to kill them. The croakers eat the snook eggs.
Yeah.
But so there's a bunch of spillways and stuff. If we ever go down there and it rains real hard, we can go to the spillways if they open. Then that's all the snook are eating. They're eating on the freshwater tilapia and stuff that's coming out.
I watched a video this morning because we're going down to South Florida of a dude that was snook fishing all those different canals and stuff.
Yep.
That's what he did. He throws his cast nets and gets just like the little cichlids and tilapia and stuff.
Yep.
And we'd use those. And of course, down there, like, well, we don't even have snook here, but like, depending on where you're fishing, like if you're fishing them off the pier, those snook probably haven't really had tilapia or cichlids. So I don't know how that bait would work there opposed to the ones that are more inshore in the brackish water.
It would just
Or
be
even-
something
'cause
different,
they'll
though.
even get basically in freshwater.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
The same thing with the tarpon. Like there's freshwater tarpon
Yeah.
that are in ponds in South Florida, which is crazy, but
Oh, yeah.
it's a wild place down there.
South Florida's awesome, man. Just got to watch out for. It's the only place you can get attacked by a bear, an alligator, and a crocodile.
Yeah.
All in the same area.
panther.
And panthers. Panthers are kind of hard to see, but
Yeah.
there's definitely some panthers out there.
I know we went when we were down
Yeah.
there last year. We went to Picayune State Park, or might be National Park. Picayune National. It's probably National Park. And there were signs everywhere.
Yep.
It's like Panther Crossing, and that was a weird place.
Yeah.
Like it was cool. We caught some peacock bass and stuff, but it was like I felt like at any minute there was going
This
to
could be it.
a panther or like some redneck just walk out of the woods and kill me.
Rattlesnake. I mean, there is.
Yeah,
you don't think
snakes.
about South Florida, but I mean, there are massive rattlesnakes down there.
Anacondas.
Oh yeah, everything. I mean, pythons.
Yeah,
There's-
pythons.
Oh yeah, I mean it's a weird. So look, I grew up in the city. You know, it's like it was weird to see, like you see a fox and you're like, oh man, there's a fox. Like what are you
Right.
doing? Like people are scared of it. And like we moved to Arkansas. I saw two deers fighting for the first time. I've never seen a deer really in my life. And there's two deer fighting. I'm
What is happening?
yeah, no,
right
I'm
now?
I'm with this kid. His name's Cameron. And Cameron, you know, he's a good old boy. Hunted his whole life, and he's like, "What do you mean? What do we do?" I was like, "What do we do? There's deer." And he's like, "You just sit here. Like they're gonna fight, and then they're gonna go away." And I was like, No. This
Yeah.
is violent, man.
That's funny.
But South Florida's got a lot of baby deer,
Yeah. Small
hogs.
ones, they get ate by
deer.
the alligators before they can get too big. The alligator thing is like growing up in Nashville. Obviously, we didn't have alligators, and even here, like there's some, but
Yeah.
you don't see them very often.
Nope.
And so the first time I went down to the Everglades with Matt and Brant, and you're just fishing on the side of the road. There's literally an alligator like 5 foot
Yeah.
from you.
Oh yeah.
You're like that. Like it's a little weird.
Yeah.
Like I've seen them in the zoo,
Yeah.
and they can't kill you in the zoo.
Yeah.
But if he wanted to, he could turn around and chase me.
It's the one you don't see. That's the one that that's the one that's sitting on the bottom for 30 minutes watching you catch fish.
And we were there's I think it is a state park or something on Highway 41 in the Everglades, and I'm pretty certain they probably feed the gators there
Yeah.
because they're everywhere you stop, but there's like way more in this
Yeah.
one particular area. I'm like, I bet they're feeding these gators to keep them there, because all the tourists love them.
Yeah. Yeah.
But so we stopped, and we're fishing that little area they're in, and like 3 of them, probably thinking I'm there to feed them, swim up, like crawl out of the water, and like start coming towards me. I'm like, hell no.
Yep.
Like, I'm getting out of here. Like, I don't know that you're trying to kill me or if you think I'm gonna feed you something, but
You're not gonna find out.
that's the first time because usually they don't even move.
Oh yeah.
Like you just said that you can stare at them forever and they don't even move, but those were like actively coming towards me, and I'm like, yeah, that's not for me.
So I grew up with them. I mean, that was never alligators were never something I was worried about. Crocodiles and things like that, like those are the rattlesnakes. Those were the
Yeah.
things that I was really, really worried about.
Supposedly, we have some alligators in the ponds in the new neighborhood we just moved to.
Huh.
All the neighbors have said like each pond has
I
one.
see one.
They said there was one in the pond behind our house, but it would start like chasing after kids, and so they had
got
it
it out.
removed. But it scares me like sending my 6-year-old like I feel like I could outrun a gator, but
Yeah.
my 6-year-old, if a gator wants to get him, like he's probably not going to think fast enough, and
That's how I know I'm from Florida. Like even in schools, they teach you how to run away from alligators.
Really?
Like it's part of like one of those. Like I'm sure like out in
you, like,
Montana,
zigzag like somebody's shooting at you.
that's what they tell you to do, but like that's been proven really, really wrong over time. Because the alligators don't zig; they just keep going straight. So
Right.
you're zigging, and they're just covering
You're
ground.
running slower for no reason.
But I mean, that was something you learn about like in school is don't go near the water's edge, and I'm sure like in Montana and places they're like, watch out for, cougars, and like
Right.
this is what you need to look out for, and but
Interesting.
yeah. We grew up learning how to run away from alligators and what to do in hurricanes.
Yeah.
So,
I know we had a lot of the tornado drills and stuff in the schools, and obviously not the hurricane stuff, but it was funny. Like your tornado drill was go sit in the hallway and put a book over your head.
that was a whole different world. So I know we got to get going, but the first time I ever heard a tornado siren in Arkansas, freaked out.
What is
Yeah.
happening?
We're like, where do we go? What do we do? And Leanne's
Yeah.
like, she pulls up her phone. She's like, oh, it's just, it's 10 miles out. I was like, 10 miles,
Right.
And, now
Oh,
that I've lived through a couple, I'm like, go back to bed.
I know that's the craziest thing about tornadoes versus hurricanes. Like hurricane, like it's coming.
Yeah.
Usually like a week in advance that it's gonna
Yeah.
at least might be close, and then you usually have the warnings like a day, at least
Oh,
2
yeah.
days before you're like,
Yeah.
all right, it's probably coming to us.
Yeah.
But a tornado, it just pops up. But like you're saying, if it's 10 miles down the road, it ain't nothing to worry
Yeah.
about.
You're
Like,
actually
it's gotta
probably,
be right on top of you.
you're probably having decent weather because all the bad
Right.
weather's right next
I
to that.
know.
Oh,
With
yeah.
the hurricane, it would be like, I think Hurricane Sally was like 300 miles wide or something crazy.
Well, and Sally was just such a weird, it was only supposed to be like a tropical storm.
Right.
And then, nobody got prepared for it. Nobody
Yeah.
left. Nobody boarded up. And then all of a sudden, that thing just
It
sat
was
over.
only moving like 3 miles an
Yeah,
hour. Just
as a
sat here
Category
and
3.
Dumped rain on us.
But there was that big tornado over, what was it, Navarre? During that last storm?
Panama
City.
It messed up. There's Pirates Cove Marina or something.
Yeah,
Like,
I saw that picture.
messed it up. There was a house on the beach, like sitting
Yeah.
sideways. And
Well, even the pier. The pier got hit.
Navarre,
And it looks
yeah,
like it was
Navarre
like a
Pier
water
lost.
spout.
Yeah.
Because there was the waves weren't big enough to actually,
To have knocked it.
yeah. So it looks like the pier got hit by a water spout or,
Probably so.
man.
I mean, it sounded like It sounded like it was a tornado in my backyard. When
Yeah,
at
it
like
was.
5 a.m. I woke up to like brutal storm,
Yeah.
loud thunder.
So there are very few things in the world that make me scared. Like nothing really scares
Except
kittens.
ghosts.
Kittens? No. Hate kittens. Don't mind cats. Hate kittens.
Interesting.
Thunderstorms.
Yeah.
There's a thunder. Like I couldn't sleep. I was up all night. Couldn't
Really?
sleep. And when it started hitting, I was like, oh, no, what are we doing? So I was up for that whole thing.
Because you think like your house is gonna get knocked out or something.
I have a huge respect / fear for like Mother Nature.
Yeah.
It's just like you're just
Yeah,
like
I
with
mean, a
that,
tornado could wipe out your
Yeah.
house in 2 seconds, like it was nothing.
yeah, and that's what happened. You know, I mean, those people over there. You live in Panama City on the beach. Did you think those people going to bed thought they were going to get hit by a tornado?
Right,
You know,
yeah.
when it's so thunderstorms, man. Woo, I don't like them.
Yeah.
I'll be gone for any type of hurricane. Anything above a 2, I'm
I know. After,
Yeah.
and that's what most people say is like a 1 or 2, like you're fine.
yeah,
If they start talking about more than that, like go ahead and get out of here.
yeah.
But of course, it wasn't supposed to be.
No, like, that was
Um,
weird.
So yeah, probably. I mean, where we're at now, further north, you ain't got to worry about a tornado up there, or a hurricane. What you got to worry about is the pop-up tornadoes spinning from the hurricane.
Well, I have to worry about flooding because our
yeah.
house is stupid.
Well, so ours, I don't know that I would have to worry about flooding so much in our actual house, but like our neighbor, their backyard, even just from the rains, like, and even our yard too, just gets swapping wet.
Yeah.
But the drainage there is just ridiculous.
It's horrible everywhere. I mean, that's so our house kind of comes down. The neighbor to our right, she's been flooded twice, I think. But they say that during Sally, like my pad was underwater by like 2 feet or something. But there was also drains that were clogged because there was new
Right.
construction. But
Well, even I don't know if it was a storm or it might have been one of the other hurricanes that hit. You sent us a picture
last
of like,
year, yeah.
I don't know, 18 inches or something of water in your
Oh,
backyard.
it was up to my hip. Like it was up to my leg. I mean, it was up to that first brace on a fence. And that's the
crazy.
lady next door. She got it. It never came in our house, but it came really close. I bought 100 sandbags, and you know, realistically, if it's gonna go above 100 sandbags and into my house, like I don't need to be there anyway.
Right.
So, but that was
I
after
just
it
feel like
rained.
as bad as that drainage is in your backyard, like there's probably nothing you can do about it now, but
Yeah.
that should have been a warranty issue with the builder.
Oh yeah. The lady next door, I think so it's through. I don't know if I can say the name, but it's you know who
The
I'm
builder?
talking. Yeah.
Oh, D.R. Horton.
Yeah. So like
They're known all around the world of
Well,
building a shitty house.
Well, I don't want to get I don't know if you're allowed to say that, but so so basically
They'll
like
sue me, not you.
where her house is should have been a drainage spot, like to where they would have brought. So her house like does flow to like the street, but it all piles up at her house, so the amount of it going out
Yeah.
is less than it coming in. So we were running 3 sup pumps, like commercial grade, like 4-inch hoses, full on sand, everything, and it was still like rising during that storm.
They were like, we're supposed to put a ditch, but it looks like we got enough room for another
Yeah.
house, so we're gonna do another house.
And she's actually
Through
had
the
water
drainage
come
ditch.
in the house 2 times now. So that sucks.
And not even from the hurricane.
Not even from a hurricane, just from regular storms. And the picture I sent you was like 2 weeks after we moved in too. Like Leanne
Yeah.
had gone back home, back to
You're
Arkansas.
like, great, I just buy a house and
Yeah.
now it's gonna flood. within
Well,
a
now
month.
every time
I've
there's like
even made a mortgage payment.
it was horrible. Yeah, it was brutal.
That's crazy.
We won't be there very long, so hopefully, I mean, fingers crossed, we'll be heading somewhere else.
Yeah.
So
What are you thinking?
probably over in like Lillian. We still want to
Okay.
stay in this
So around
area.
this area, though.
Yeah, we had to buy that house without seeing it. That was part of it. Was when everything was going crazy.
Right.
We got a great deal on our house to sell it. But we were like that house came up and was like, if you want to buy it, you gotta buy it now. So we offered over asking, and
Yeah.
we never
Which
even
I'm
saw
sure
the
it's still
house.
gone up in value, though.
Yeah. I mean, everything has, but
Which is crazy. You're like, you feel like you're overpaying for a house, and then 2 years later, it's still worth 100,000 more.
we paid like 100,000 over what the person bought it for a year ago, brand new. Like, I mean, that was the going rate. Like we
Yeah.
didn't overpay. Like another house that we wanted to go on in that same neighborhood sold for more than what we bought ours for. And so it was, but again, we didn't get to see it. We left a house we got spoiled with our first home purchase. And so it's a little different neighborhood. It's a little different.
Yeah.
I want to have land. I don't know.
That's what I've been looking a lot lately. Like, I love being close to the beach, but at our old place, I didn't really have many issues with the neighbors. We had one lady that was just like kind of a pain, but dude, in our neighborhood, you would think I lived on Ono Island in $2 million homes. Like some of these women, and I'm like, listen, lady, you live in a $300,000 DR Horton home in the northern side. Like you're almost in Foley.
Yeah.
Nothing against Foley if you're from Foley. I'm sorry.
I live in Foley, so it's
James lives in Foley, but the way they act is like you would think I was in Orange Beach.
That's how our HOA people
everybody's
are.
like, oh, Orange Beach people, but I had way better experience with Orange Beach people. I'm in Gulf Shores and they're acting like this. I'm like,
we got a fine before we even moved in the house for our HOA. Yeah. We built a fence. We had a fence professionally built, and then we got a fine for putting up a fence.
So we're renting, so I don't deal with the HOA, but I should have thought about this, but I didn't because I've never even owned a home. But even the times that I lived in a neighborhood with HOA for like 2 years, but I was living with my parents, so I don't really have no experience with HOA. But we moved in, and it's a much bigger house, but it still just have so much crap, and so I just bought like a plastic storage shed.
Nope.
Like just from Home Depot. Like it's nothing giant. It sticks over a fence like a hair.
Yeah.
But wasn't even up 24 hours.
Yeah, no.
And I know who it is. I know the neighbor. Everybody, if you live in a neighborhood, you know the neighbor.
You know that person. Yep.
And so the guy that I deal with for our rental, it's not the homeowner. The homeowner doesn't even care. She's like, you can have a shed, but they're like, nope. It's got to be a wooden shed. It's got to have shingles. It's got to be approved. You got to draw it out on your plot and blah, 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 blah.
It's got to be painted the same color as the house.
Yeah, same as the house. I'm like, nobody can even, because where our lot is and where I put the shed so nobody can see it from the road, the only person that can, there's two people that can see it. And it's the one lady here and the one lady here. And I've kind of had issues with both of them. So it could be one of the two. I've kind of settled some of the issues at one of the houses. But, I'm like, seriously?
Yeah.
You care that much about a shed in my backyard that doesn't affect you at all?
It's insane, man. Where we came from, I had a friend that lived in it. It was called Bella Vista, and Bella Vista is like a retirement community but it's a city. Like it's not like an actual like a.
I was gonna say that sounds familiar, but that's basically where we stayed in Juneau, right?
No, up north in Arkansas.
'Cause that sounds so familiar.
So Bella Vista is like
I'm sure there's a lot of Bella Vistas,
but it's like it's a retirement city, where it was, and then like it slowly became like, hey, there's affordable housing here because it was all older houses, but we had a friend out there who put up yard sale signs to have a yard sale, and there's actual rules in their homeowners association there that it can only be like certain feet from the road. So somebody went out and measured every single sign that they put out, and they got like a $600 fine. Dude. And it's like, your life is that miserable that you're going to get off.
I felt about the shed. I'm like,
who cares?
Yeah, why do you care what's in my yard?
It's one thing if you're like shooting fireworks off at like 3 o'clock in the morning.
And it's behind a fence.
Yeah. It's insane, man. I will never get it.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, I was talking to one of our other neighbors that we've become friends with, and they're like, so right now the HOA is still ran by, I guess, DR Horton.
That's how ours was.
The neighborhood's complete, then it goes to the homeowners or something.
Yep, and you got to vote on it.
So, she was like, DR Horton, like, they've already said that, like, they'll send you the fine.
Yeah.
If you don't pay it, they're not going to do anything because it costs them money to get a lawyer and do whatever. And they know they're going to get rid of the HOA anyways. So it's just like, they're not going to really enforce the fines. Yeah. I was like, if I owned the home, then yes, I would.
They'll put a lien on your house and everything.
Since I'm renting, like, I have to obey the laws because I don't want to get kicked out of my house.
You don't want to get the person to.
If you own the home, they can't kick you out. What are you going to do? Put a lien? Okay, well, wait till I sell the house, I guess. Yeah.
Well, so in our neighborhood, there was like, so we have to pay HOA fees and everything too. Right. And there was people who didn't pay the fees, and they took them to court. I mean, it was like, there's like, hey, there's 8 of you that owe like $30,000 in fees, and
Yeah, I mean, something like that, I can
Yeah.
see them.
But the fees
enforcing a
the
little
fees are
more,
for
but-
like a pool, which I don't use because the community pool to me is just
Yeah.
and like horrible bushes in the front. Like
know.
it's like, man, I could.
Like, what kind of landscaping
Yeah,
is
look,
this?
there's like 400. So Scott Kennedy lives in the same neighborhood as me.
Oh,
and-
really?
Yeah, he lives like literally 3 houses, like
Nice.
3 blocks down. And
I was trying to figure out the connection of why y'all were gonna fish tournaments with him. Like, I knew you knew who he was, but that makes sense that y'all.
well, he's kind of a ringer in the area. We're doing inshore.
Right? No, I get that. Like, he's like one of the best inshore fishermen
Well,
here.
yeah.
I was just wondering where the connection of.
Yeah, he lives like 3
I
blocks
just would
down
have
from him.
put y'all to like go fish together a lot.
Yeah, I've never fished with him before. We're just gonna start fishing tournaments out of his boat.
Does he know that you haven't done a lot of inshore fishing?
I've done some. I mean, I'll
Does he
know what I'm
Jordan
doing.
hasn't done a lot of inshore fishing.
I told him that I would pay for the entry
Does
fees
he-
as long as
does
we
he
could
think
win.
This is going to be a lot better than it's going to be.
I mean, I've never
He has no
guaranteed
idea
him
what to
anything.
expect.
All I can. So there's I think there's
He's a charter captain, so he's used to it.
yeah. There's 9 categories I think, and I want to win like 6 of them at least just to get my money back.
Nice.
Just, hopefully we can do it because
So
I have
trout, redfish,
sheep's head,
sheep's head.
and then that's it for this one. So first, second, third, and then I
What's
think
the 9 categories?
there's a first, second, and third of each of them. So as far as big, so 3, first,
There's
second,
9
and third.
places.
Yeah.
3 categories.
Yeah, 3 categories,
Gotcha.
9 places. And then I think the next one, and it eliminates sheep's
So
head.
how would you
and-
do 6?
Because
how
you
would
can
you
place
win
in each
6?
one. You can place first, second, and third in each category.
But that's only 3.
Well, yeah, but there's
Oh, you could play. You could win them all.
yeah, you could win all 9
Gotcha.
slots.
Gotcha.
Which I mean, I hope that somebody
That
outfishes
would
me for a
suck.
few of them, but and I don't want to win my
Well,
rod.
no, that would just suck for like if you were the loser and you're like the one person, that guy
Yep.
gets first, second, and third in all of them. You're like, all right.
Yeah, this might not do this one next month.
Yeah.
And I think the one in February, because there's a 5 tournament season type of thing. I think that one eliminates sheep's head and goes to flounder or something. So I think mainly it's like the inshore slam. It's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
flounder, and I think sheep's head just in January.
Well, that'll be cool.
Yeah, it'll be. I went out and bought a whole bunch of new reels from your thing.
Yeah.
and I keep
been
I
seeing
keep,
all of them pop up on Facebook.
I keep offering people
Not yours, but-
30% over what I know what they paid, so it's like I'll calculate it.
The funny thing, so if y'all don't know, we just had a huge sale at the
Huge.
warehouse. Like, I bought a lot of stuff because we can't say all the stuff because we can sell things at whatever price we want to sell them at, but we cannot advertise certain
Yes.
prices because certain brands say you have to sell our item at this price.
Yes.
Otherwise, we're like undercutting all the other retailers, and so that's just part of retail. But we can sell them at whatever we want inside our store, and so most of y'all know by now we bought a store out of Tampa and acquired a ton of inventory, a lot of which we didn't necessarily need. Some of which now we figured out that, like, even though it's great reels, like a lot of the reels we were
Yeah.
selling, they're good reels.
Oh yeah.
It's just not stuff that usually sells in our market, or maybe they're different sizes that doesn't generally sell. So a lot of good stuff at 75% off. And so I knew that people were going to come
Oh.
by it and try to resell it. But what is annoying is the people that are now posting the reels. There's literally a guy that is like, selling these because I need money to fix my car.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, you don't. You just bought them yesterday for 75% off, and now you're trying to sell it for like $10 off a sticker price. And then another guy's like, selling these because I have way too many reels. I'm
Yeah.
like, no, you just bought them.
Yeah. I thought about it.
Is there do you really have to lie? Because the people don't even know.
Yeah, most people don't
Like,
know.
why are you're making an excuse? You're making an excuse for a question that hasn't even been asked.
Yeah.
Like, just say brand new reels don't need
Yeah. I thought about
$200.
going in there that day and just buying everything. And then
Yeah.
but I didn't want to be that guy.
Yeah.
Because I would just sit on them, and then I wouldn't be selling them right now. I'd wait until March, April,
Right.
when everyone's
I know,
looking
when-
for tackle.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'd be, but I wasn't gonna I was gonna like 50% off. Like I just want to make like $50 a reel, but
Yeah.
I decided not to be that person, and I bought only what I needed,
Yeah.
which I needed a lot. So I think I ended up spending like $1,000 with you
Yeah,
guys, which
I bought more than I needed, but it's still stuff like it's stuff I'm gonna use.
Yeah.
I just like we had a lot of trolling stuff, which
Yeah.
we still have more. Like I didn't even buy it all because I wanted to make sure people would
Yeah.
have the opportunity to buy it, and so there's still more there now that the sale's done. So I'm gonna go get more, but
Yeah.
so I don't need that many, but I'm like now that I got the bigger boat and I'm gonna be offshore trolling, like
Why
I
not?
might as well have it because I'm gonna get cut off, I'm gonna lose stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Well, like you said, it was great. I mean, it was really good. That's why I kept asking. I was like, is it really worth me coming up here to take 3 hours out of my day to stand in line?
Yeah.
Because I knew there was
Like,
going to be a
I had
massive
a lot of
line.
people ask me what all, and I didn't even know what all.
Yeah.
Like I did walk through there, but for me, you got there. Well, I'll let you come in the day or whatever, 2 days before, and so you could see like.
Yeah.
I couldn't have just texted you, hey, we have this and this and
Yeah.
that. Like there was just so many different things, but it's
Yeah.
like yes, it's good stuff.
Yeah.
It's name brand.
It was awesome.
So
I appreciate it.
I can't believe we did it, but hey,
You got some walking around money.
we got some spending money. That way we can buy some frisky fins, pompano rigs, and jigs for the spring.
Yeah, man. Cobia
I
jigs.
might end up turning this podcast into 2.
Let's do it.
I know. We're about to end it. Now we're 40 minutes after that, but we do want to do the cobia jigs.
Yeah. I talked to Mark about it the other day, and he got real excited about it.
Yeah.
Which kind of scares me a little bit. I don't want to disappoint him. So he was like, throw feathers and flash and this and that. I'm like, man, for wholesale pricing, you're asking a lot.
A lot of what I don't really fish a cobia jig much, just unless I tie one on when I go on the pier. But like on the boat, when I go out there, I'm just gonna be fishing live bait probably.
Yeah.
But when I've been at the pier this past year, a lot of the guys don't even have all the crazy stuff anymore. They like the ones with just like the rubber.
Yeah, the tentacles.
Yeah, the tentacles on them.
Yep.
And it's not even that many. Like they like this year's kind of been simple, but the way that the pier goes this coming year could be something completely different.
Yeah.
It's all about whatever the one cool kid has or whatever the first fish catches. And
Oh yeah, I mean,
it's like NLBNs. NLBNs were huge, which they still are.
Yeah.
But 2 years ago, everybody on the pier had an NLBN tied on.
Yep.
This year, everybody had a cobia jig, and they were
Yep.
even throwing $15 cobia jigs at jacks.
That's insane to me. That's just
I'm like, don't waste a cobia
Yeah.
jig on a jack. You could throw a turd on a hook
yeah.
at a jack.
But you guys will be probably an exclusive cobia jig only store for me. There's too much time to go. I mean, I can't pump them out like I would need to wholesale them. So
Right.
it'll probably be a Beach Bum Outdoors and online type of thing.
Yeah.
So it'll be good.
That'd be cool.
We got the Yakking with Jack rig, and I think me and him are gonna do like
A shark rig.
Yeah, we're a cast out.
Have we ordered any? Have you talked to Mark about that?
You haven't, unfortunately.
We need to get those. I'll
Yeah.
talk to Mark about it because I know we have some shark rigs over there, but it's like
Yeah.
from somebody in the Northeast or something.
Yep. And I don't know anything. Like when we decided to do that, I let Jack. So I make them. He makes something part of them sometimes. But it's everything. And Yakking with Jack, I'm sure most of you guys know who he is. But
Yeah.
he ran a business doing this. So he
Right.
said, "This is what I want. This is how I want it." And that's what we've done.
Yeah.
So it's a high quality, overbuilt. It's probably actually too much. A little too heavy. But when you're fishing for sharks, I'd rather have a little
yeah.
more than just not enough.
Yeah, because I mean,
You don't know what you're gonna. I mean, you might catch a 6-foot bull or a 7-foot bull when
yeah,
you're
they're
blacktip
they're
fishing.
not picky, so even the smaller ones,
Oh,
they're
yeah.
not going to shy away from a
No,
from
not
a
at
heavier
all.
leader. So it's not
No,
too much in the sense that you're going to lose bites from it,
no.
as much as it is like
We could have
maybe a
got away
little
with a
too
smaller
weight
swivel
or whatever. Yeah.
We ended up using the most. I mean, we used a very expensive, even at wholesale pricing.
I know that's like when you look at the components you have, then it's what
Yeah.
is it like a $20 retail price?
So yeah, so
Is that what
we
you're
saw them for $19.99.
19, so $20.
Yeah.
And you look at the time it takes to do it and the components, you're like, that's a lot of stuff. Like
Yeah.
I don't know what your cost is on it, but
Well, it's the
Like,
time,
dang,
like you
that's
said. It's so I can throw a pompano rig
'cause
together.
yeah, it's not you're just doing that.
Yeah.
Like you're crimping and
Well, yeah, and you're getting these multiple different crimps, and everything's cut to size. Yeah, it takes. I can only do like 10 an hour, maybe. Where pompano rig, I can do 40. And
yeah,
so it's a lot more time to
more
produce
time, more material.
a rig.
But,
Yep, and harder to find material. It's not a lot of people are tying shark rigs,
right.
so there's only one vendor or two vendors or.
And so I'm sure you're overpaying because like
Yes.
because there's only a few people.
So I was about to buy some LP mono. I'm sure you've heard people talking about it. So I want to get some 1,200-pound test, which only comes in 50-pound spools or something, which is like a mile. Yeah, it's like it's got to be like delivered on a truck that's got like a. And I'm like, man, it's gonna cost
like
me as much.
$2,000.
So then I kind of like figured I was like, all right, so I can buy them in like they also come in 1,000 or 100-yard spools, and I was like, well, they're only a little bit more. I did the math. And I was like, I'm gonna overpay a little bit, but I'm not getting something delivered on like a specialty
You gotta have
truck.
a forklift in your garage to move that shit around.
Well, it's one thing to get it in the garage, but then I have to move, and so I was like, yeah, I'll just order like 50 of these little
like
spools.
a spindle in your garage, like pulling it off like it's freaking rope.
But yeah, I mean, but it is
1,200 is
1,200 pound.
That's basically rope.
I wanted to go with 800, and then Jack was like, no, 12. It's 1,200. So this is a different rig too. We're gonna do like a drone because everyone's got the drones now.
Yeah.
So we're doing the drone kayak style rig, and it's another local, the Coastal Worldwide. I think they do an 800-pound as their like panhandle style. So we're going even above that, which again, overbuilt. Probably don't need it, but there's some great whites. I was gonna say there's a couple of great whites swimming around out here. 6 this year, 8 last year.
Big John caught. I don't know how many.
I think he caught. I think the word is that he did like 6, but didn't really like.
And Dylan and Blim got 1.
And then somebody from Texas got one for sure. Came over. So they're here, man.
John was a little hush hush about his.
Yeah.
But...
I heard he got death threats.
Really?
Yeah, like I heard that people were mailing him stuff like death threats for catching that shark. And it's like,
you have no control over what bites your hook.
You dropped a bait 800 yards off the beach, and you're like, whoa, please, hey, this is not for great whites.
Right.
And what are the odds of us even having them here?
Right.
So, yeah, I heard he got death threats. That was
cool, then.
Because I know Dylan and them.
I want to catch one.
I know Dylan and them were very hesitant about putting their catch out, and then they made the news.
Yeah,
they made like Fox News or something.
Yeah, I don't know for sure, but
yeah,
I feel like they might have called the news.
Well, yeah, I mean, you never know, but
I don't know if the news called them, but
yeah, which they're those
it made that video pop off though.
Yeah, those two guys know what they're doing. And if anyone is going to catch,
I love fishing with Dylan and Blaine because they're young, ambitious, but they're super smart. They're super knowledgeable, like and not even just shark fishing, but all of it. Like they know a lot. They're fun to fish with. So Dylan, you're probably going to get a message or call from me in the next couple of days. I watched him on another podcast, Demo. Yeah, Finding Demo, and just their energy, man. I'm just like, I got to be a part of this somehow. Whether or not we partner, whether or not they spawn, I'll give you free rigs just to I just want to be I want to go hang out with you guys. They're right. And they're freaking swimming tiger sharks back out. And I know the first time I shark fished with them and I caught the 10-foot dusky, like I didn't even want to get in the water. Yeah. And then I got in the water, but I was like not feeling the best about it. Yep. And then I've fished with them 3 years in a row now. And now it's like, I'll get out there. I'm still not doing all the crazy stuff they do. Like I'm not gonna go swim with a tiger shark, but like I'll get out there in the water and hold the tail and pull it, whatever. Because when you see it fit, like the smaller sharks are the ones that are gonna turn around and bite your hand off. Yep. Now that big shark, it can bite your arm off, but you just fought it for an hour though. If you got a 10-foot shark, it can't just whip its head around right towards its tail and get you in 2 seconds. Yeah. So the little ones are really the dangerous ones. But. Well, and and if anybody was going to catch a great white, it's good that it was those guys. It's good that it was Dylan, it was Big John, because they're very, very knowledgeable. Even their videos. Sure you do the right thing. Absolutely. I see some videos where like I've seen people like, you probably shouldn't post that on because that's a protected species. Like you're in the background saying, "Hey, come get a picture." And it's against the law to take pictures with that fit, and it's like, but not those guys. They don't get them out of the water. They're in and out. They're pushed. They're swimming great whites back out in the like that shark was not gonna. I mean, if it died, it died. But they were gonna do everything possible to make sure that fish got back. But speaking of doing things you're not supposed to do and posting online, I didn't know that. Let's restart that. I did not do anything wrong. My wife took a video and sent it to me, and I'm like, that's going to go viral, so I posted it. When we went to the Keys last year, we stayed on the water, and there was a manatee that was back in the canal we were
Spraying
staying
it with
on.
water.
And so the neighbor, my kids are outside with my wife. I wasn't even home. The neighbor who lives there was like, they love fresh water.
Yeah.
And so he turns the hose on, starts spraying the manatee. It rolls over, opens its mouth, and is just loving life, drinking fresh water. And so Courtney videoed it and sent it to me. I'm like, that was really cool.
Yeah.
And I posted it. It went viral. And so, with Facebook and Reels, like, you can repost stuff pretty regularly. And so I posted like multiple times. And every time I posted it would go viral. And then this summer, I get a call from a number I don't know. And I ignore it just like every other one.
Yeah.
And then I get a text. It's like, this is Officer so-and-so with FWC. I need you to call me. I was like, oh, shit. What happened? And so I'm like kind of freaking out.
Yeah.
Because, I've posted a lot of FWC videos because they love stopping me. And so I called the guy, and he was like, we've gotten multiple reports of you posting a video of spraying a manatee with water. They're a federally protected animal that you cannot mess with at all. And I'm like, I understand that wasn't me. I wasn't even there.
Yeah.
My wife took the video. He's like, you could be this, and that, whatever. And he's like, we just need you to take the videos down. I was like, I will.
Yes, sir.
I won't gladly do that, but I will do that. And so I went and deleted them all. And
Yeah.
I mean, no big deal. But
Man.
that's another thing of just like some Karens that's reporting something that's like,
Yeah.
we were not. I understand if I'm
yeah.
like trying to catch the manatee.
Yeah.
But that manatee was loving itself, getting that fresh water.
Yeah. Well, even like I've seen videos of things on the news where like the algae and just all the like runoff waste is so bad and like those little canals
Yeah.
that people are like doing it because they think they're helping them.
Yeah.
And, and it's like, how are you going to give that person a fine? Or like you could go to jail for spraying a manatee with water.
I won't do it again.
Imagine that. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know how you go to jail for that.
It's like I spray my dog with water when it's hot, and he loves it.
She loves it.
That's not going to jail.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
God
there's
forbid that manatee.
there's weird things that they're protected. I mean, there's
When we were in South Florida 2 years ago, we won't say any names, but we met up with somebody at the pier who said way back when they used to eat the manatee.
I remember
That guy had also just had surgery.
Yeah.
Was maybe on a pill or two.
No.
But
Yeah.
he said that they would like
Manatee
I don't know, back in the
steaks.
50s, 60s or something.
Yep.
He said they would harpoon them.
Yeah.
And then eat manatees. And I mean,
I mean, there's places.
nothing was probably protected back
There's
then.
people in the world that kill dolphins and eat them and stuff.
Well,
I
Brant,
mean,
Brant went to Iceland a few years back, and
Yeah.
he said dolphin is on the menu in
Yeah.
Iceland.
I mean, you do that over
He
here.
said he
I
was
mean,
kind of scared to eat it. He didn't get it, but
no, I mean, people eat manatee. I mean, not manatee, they eat dolphin and whale and I mean, just because it's cute
they'll
and
bury
cuddly
you
doesn't mean
under
people
the
won't eat
jail
it.
if you eat a dolphin or manatee now.
Phew.
They're more protected than our freaking safety.
Yeah, 100%. There's a lot of stuff like that actually. Turtles,
Yeah,
man.
I caught a turtle like 2 years ago at Fort Pickens, and
I am
the
terrified
things that
to
people
hook
told
one.
me to, like, I was with Jack. Thank God I was with Jack.
You're shark fishing, right?
Because I wouldn't. Yeah, all I had was a shark bait out, and the turtle ate it. Not
Yeah.
my fault. I went turtle fishing.
Yeah.
And I thought I had a big stingray on for the longest, and then got it up. And again, thank God Jack was with me, because I don't know what I would have done by myself. But
Yeah.
he like was trying to pull the head open, and we got the hook out of its mouth because it was literally hooked in the mouth.
Yeah.
And we got the hook out and released it, and it was fine. But people lost their mind. They were like, "You're not allowed to mess with the turtle. You should have called somebody," and blah blah blah. They're like, "You should have." Somebody told me that I should have had an umbrella with shade. I should have put the turtle in the shade under the umbrella, got a towel and got it wet, and laid a wet towel over the turtle shell and called for the volunteer person. I'm like, I did not have an umbrella. I did not have a towel, and I'm not waiting 5 hours for a volunteer to finally show up at Fort Pickens on a Sunday because I have a turtle.
You had a buddy.
I'll just take the hook out of its mouth and let it go.
Yeah. I mean, which is the best thing to do?
Yeah. I mean, what else you want me? I could have just cut the line and left him with 5 foot of shark leader.
That's the person that calls you in on your shed in the background.
I know. It probably was. Same lady.
So I don't want to get in trouble for this. I'm not saying that you should hook and hurt turtles.
Oh, no. Me either.
But
I didn't hook it on purpose.
exactly. You know, I'm not saying we should go out and
I
start
never
killing
would have thought a
manatees
sea
again.
turtle would have ate an entire Spanish mackerel.
They'll eat anything.
And in my mind, I'm like, turtles just like lettuce, but it's not the case. Sea turtles don't like lettuce, I guess.
But
They
I mean,
like Spanish mackerel.
it's just there's so many. It's like the shark. It's like the shark thing. In the world, sharks need to be protected. In South Florida, they are everywhere. Here,
The Gulf of Mexico,
they are
yeah.
everywhere. We have
You can't
more
go
sharks.
bottom fishing without a shark being
No.
on the reef.
They're so, which, if you're somebody who doesn't fish, obviously you don't care. But that hurts captains. That hurts the fishery. That hurts
Right.
vacations. That hurts us. I mean, we're a vacation we're a vacation spot.
Yeah.
Where if all of a sudden, if you're coming down and every time you spend $5,000 on a charter and all you're doing is catching bull sharks,
Yeah.
you're not going to keep doing it.
I'm sure you saw the picture. This has probably been a year ago now. It was going around, but it was a picture of a reef, and it was like 30 years ago, and it was like all these big red snapper and grouper and cobia and all this stuff all on the reef. And then it was like 2023, and it was like tiny snapper, one grouper. They're turning the lights off on us.
It's all right. You on the
And then
building?
just like 5 sharks.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, it's definitely. We must close a lot early. Oh, it is 6:03.
We went an
Well,
extra hour.
We did go an extra hour over the podcast. I don't know if I'm gonna post this as one long one or break it up into 2, but I don't have a key to this building, nor do I have the code to get in here.
So we got
And
to
the
go.
employees are turning off the lights, so we're gonna wrap it up so they can go home. James, appreciate you coming on here.
Thanks for
and
having
taking
me.
an extra hour of your time.
I appreciate it.
Make sure y'all go check out Frisky Fins, his website, Instagram, Facebook, all the things. We do sell all of his stuff here. We're going to get the shark rigs at some point and hopefully some cobia jigs. So
Yep.
Appreciate it, man. And make sure you like, subscribe, rate, review, all the things, Apple Podcasts, whatever you got to do. So catch you on the next one.